Let's just take a startup, okay? They're trying to build content and they're trying to bring in leads and the traffic, okay? And they want to do the full funnel marketing. So exactly where should they focus on? How should they start? What are some of the strategies
Yeah.
that they can follow?
Yeah. I think the first thing that startup needs to do is find, first of all, I don't think SEO works as well anymore. I don't think ad
Mhm,
strategies work as well anymore. It's a lot of high burn, right? The analogy
mhm,
that I like to use is, let's say that I'm selling dog toys, right?
mhm,
And I need to sell dog toys to just community houses. And
mhm,
so the idea of a cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac has a circular area, has like 5, 6 houses. Let's say I have access to 3 cul-de-sacs. I go
mhm,
in cul-de-sac 1, I knock on everybody's door. Cul-de-sac 2, everybody's door. Hey, I have dog toys. Cul-de-sac 3, everybody's door. I can do that all over again the next day. But guess what? That cul-de-sac, all those 3 cul-de-sacs are connected by one dog park. In the evening,
mhm,
all those people that I knocked on the door, they're probably going to go to the dog
mhm,
park and be like, hey, by the way, did this guy come and knock on your door and selling dog toys? And they're like, yeah. Now, I can
mhm,
go and knock on all those doors all over again tomorrow. What if I
mhm,
find myself in the cul-de-sac when they are having that conversation about me, and I can just pick up the
mhm,
interesting conversations? What I'm
mhm,
trying to get at is, I think where companies to start off is get your CEO or make an internal leader a celebrity, authority, a thought leader. And you don't do that by them just being like, hey, just everybody come look at me. That will happen. They will look at you if you find the right place to say the right things. So I think one of the first things companies should do is find a leader that believes in the strategy, that has enough to say about it, that is charismatic. You can you can honestly manufacture it and
mhm,
put them in communities to create organic content, drive drive an audience engagement through organic content. I think that's a really important starting point. Once
mhm.
you're getting engagement, and that's exactly what we're doing at Align right now. Our CEO,
Okay.
Rahul, he was hired as a CEO. He just took on marketing. And the way he did it, he started talking about buyer enablement.
Mhm,
The category is building right now. We are literally building the
mhm,
category organically by posting on LinkedIn. But how do we
mhm,
magnify the voice now, right? So let's say my CEO started doing that.
mhm,
Then we did the exact same thing that we did at Dooley. We started working with advisors, strategic influencers, branded
mhm,
personalities, aka top sellers in our space that we can use, whose audience we can kind of borrow or work with to just
mhm,
co-market and just magnify what we're trying to say. So now it's not just Gal that's saying it; it's now industry voices that are saying it. Right?
mhm,
I can go spend $50,000, $60,000 on those ads, or I can give $2,000, $3,000 to these individuals to just magnify the voice. And just because, and also by doing this, you're creating volume, but you're creating more targeted volume that's more likely to convert. Versus like thousands of leads. We all know the issue with MQLs and sales getting MQLs. All MQLs are not built equal. They're not. They're truly not.
mhm,
And once you have that, then
mhm,
internally, what a business should do is you should go hire. Let's say your categories for consulting. Uh,
mhm,
there's probably people in your industry that are trusted authorities. Go hire one
mhm,
internally to be a leader at your organization. Like this is
mhm,
all of this is a very strategic play about. I am always thinking about demand capture. I'm not even thinking demand gen anymore. Demand gen happens.
mhm, mhm,
We're living in a world of so much content, so much noise, all that stuff. Demand generation is happening consistently, whether we know it or not.
mhm,
But how do
mhm,
you capture that? And how
mhm,
do you manufacture that? Right?
mhm,
We're a PLG company. We want to drive signups, but what has to happen before driving signups? Driving traffic to my website. That traffic could be driven by us by I wouldn't even say us yeah, us going to other people's podcasts, like an entire audience of people talking about us, right? So it's like
mhm,
people keep saying there was a time when you can pay Gartner Forrester $15,000 and do a case study and go to the market and be like, hey, we're thought leaders, we're industry experts, buy from us. B2B is
mhm,
more B2C than ever before. Somebody walks up to you on the street and goes like, hey, I'm a thought leader, buy from you. You'll be like, calm down, come on over here. So before thought leadership for top of funnel has to come
mhm,
trust. Before trust has to come likability. Likability is easy. Likability is
mhm,
basic. Likability is music videos, fancy colors, co-influencer partnerships, all that stuff. So
mhm,
when likability happens, then you've earned the right to earn trust. Then go more direct about what your product does and things like that. Don't start with your product problem. Start with likability. Be silly,
mhm,
whatever that means for you.
mhm,
My old company partnered with chain smokers, the DJs, right? And we
mhm,
partnered with humor. So We used to blast sales humor ads all over LinkedIn, and people would be like, we say sales humor and Dooley all the time. And I used to call people and they'd be like, Saad, what the fuck is Dooley? And I can show this to you right now. So this
Oh, okay.
yeah, I got a lot of examples.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually my QBR from Dooley. And
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
we drove a 431% increase in qualified pipeline. The
Mm-hmm.
way we did that was we had thousands of signups
Mm-hmm.
that were going through activation failure. In PLG, activation failure is the idea that this is activation failure, which we were talking about earlier. So if you think about, and this is exactly what we were talking about earlier about gating, ungating, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about the buyer's awareness journey, it suggests that when buyers are
Mhm.
going through awareness, they're engaging with videos, blogs, social media, infographics.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. And then it says that when they're considering, they're engaging with newsletters, events, white papers. Saad, how is a webinar any different than a video? How is a newsletter different than a
Yeah.
blog? Maybe small, maybe more condensed, right? So I say respectfully, marketers, I disagree with you. I think there's another layer called the unaware layer. I think we should pull two things into the aware layer and then add an unaware layer. The unaware layer is when people are window shopping. The unaware layer
Sure.
is people are engaging with blogs, webinars, and articles. They're not ready for you. They're not ready for your product, but they like the idea of what you're talking about, right? So for companies that don't have PLG, they educate their audience. They help their audience window shop through videos, blogs, and content pieces. Companies that have PLG can do exactly that through the product piece. So when the market thinks they got to your product, they're ready to buy it. No, they're literally just window shopping. So instead of sending them through your automated channel, buy from us, just ask them why they were interested. Because we did that, because support activation failure number exists in the industry, by doing just this, we basically called all our signups, and it was just sitting in our CRM, and this happened.
Okay.
So pipeline increased, and the way we did that, the way we were driving that traffic was through a lot of organic content. So these were follower increase spikes on Dooley's LinkedIn page. I started in Dooley on September 8th. So there was a spike somewhere around here time. Anyways, these spikes happened. 3,000 follower increase exactly the same time when this was happening. These are screenshots from my profile and posts that I was making. But the way we were doing it is we were doing it in engagement pods. You're doing it with co-influencer marketers. Everybody would make similar posts. We'd post at the exact same time. We'd engage with one another. Network effect would kick in. And people would message me like, Saad, we see Dooley all the time. What the fuck is Dooley? And we launched a campaign called What the Fuck is Dooley? We went and partnered with companies like JB Sales, 30 Mr. President's Club. Exactly what we were speaking about earlier. It's like, hey, you guys are an audience for sellers to just like, to be come and get educated on. So let's just get this noise out more. So the best sales and marketing top of funnel activities are, if in all honesty, they're glorified partnerships. They really are glorified partnerships where targeted and built in a very specific way, and everything has to connect. You can't have influence, not have a strategy to convert it, right? I got my job at my current company. I emailed my CEO. I was like, "God, congratulations! I see that you guys have picked up the influencer partnership strategy." Typically, where this goes wrong is that it becomes a brand play versus a pipeline play. So, have you thought about how you're going to convert this into pipeline? So that I would say, yeah, in terms of top of funnel, I think that's like the most basic thing that anybody can do. And the result of that happened with us in December, we had our highest ever signups at our lowest ever marketing spend. 90% of our inbound right now, people aren't searching for digital deal rooms. People are directly searching for Align, and they weren't 3 months ago. We're organically through posting organic content and very targeted, very minimal ads. We're building a category, doing top of funnel marketing. So, and you think sometimes people will be like, "Oh, Saad, is it only possible for sales tech companies because your audience is on LinkedIn?" I say no. You need to just do it the right way. So here's a screenshot, an example of somebody that's doing it at an engineering tech company. So exactly in terms of top of funnel activities, there's a company called Collab. They're a brilliant company. They sell to engineers. And Patrick is somebody that I've been working with, coaching, all that for some time. Look at how they generate leads. So their CEO, exactly what we're speaking about, their CEO creates a lot of content. Adam is a legend. And what they do is they basically track all the people that engage with their posts, and then they score them. And then when they hit a certain score, people reach out to them to convert them. So they're basically calling and converting people that are engaging with their content. And this strategy comes from the demand gen playbook that I've built, we run. And the idea over there is essentially that I think companies go wrong when they're like, oh, let's go and sell to 500 accounts. Like, okay, where do these 500 accounts come from? So an activity that I like to do is, on a very basic level, to add to your top work, is create a list of companies that you think are going to be your best customers. And you can find that through your internal data. Who are your best customers? Where are you getting your best demos from? Sales and marketing needs to sit together, put together a list of customers. This is actually ABM, but not ABM. And add all those people, create relevant content, and if they're engaging with it, report on it. If they hit a certain score, report, go outbound to them. I don't want them to know what we do. I don't want them to be like, oh yes, Saad, align. Yes, let's talk. I just want to be. All I want is by the time I call somebody, or by the time I reach out, they go, "Well, I've kind of heard about you guys." It's like, yeah, it's kind of familiar. That's half the battle.